One Christmas tradition that is very German, and I'm glad that my family does not get this. Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. Merry Christmas, or Merry late Christmas at this point. My name is Montana and I was an exchange student in Germany, but now I talk about German versus American cultures, and I have today a bunch of different German traditions, and I'm going to be talking about whether or not we have these traditions in the US or if they are strictly German traditions. This idea actually came from my language teacher, Philip, who taught me in Bad Lasva when I lived in Germany. Well, he wasn't really my teacher, but he was a teacher at our language camp, and he had some of his students send me some video messages talking about these traditions in English and asking whether or not we have them. So this is kind of a response video to those students as well. So thank you guys for your ideas. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with my first tradition, and that is the Adventskranz, or Advent wreath. This is very, very common in Germany, I would say, and it is a wreath composed of 4 candles, and then well, the candles don't make up the wreath. The wreath is the green part around, like, that sits on the table, and then there's normally 4 candles in the center. They can either be red, they can be any color, but I think normally they're red. They're super duper pretty. My host sister actually made one for us when I was there, and it's like the greenery on the outside, and there'll be like pine cones, and it just looks really pretty. The tradition in Germany is normally you have the 4 candles for the 4 Sundays before Christmas, and then what my host family and I did, at least in Bavaria, was we would sit down every Sunday evening, the 4 Sundays before Christmas, and we would light the candle, and then we would eat little Plätzchen, or like little cookies together, and drink tea and coffee or whatever we were drinking. It was really fun because it made like you really get into the holiday season because you were kind of prepping to Christmas. But I've never seen that tradition in the US. That's not something that my family has ever done. I think I could ask all my family members who are here right now about that tradition, and they would all say they have no clue what that is. So that's definitely very, very German. My next German Christmas thing is Lebkuchen, which is the gingerbread cookies. They look like this. I'll put a picture here. I've never seen these in the United States except for at like Aldi and Lidl in the German section. If you said gingerbread cookies in America, they would definitely think of like this here. So our gingerbread cookies are very, very different. They taste very different. So the German Lebkuchen, it's not necessarily my favorite. Like, I like having a little bite of it, but not a whole cookie. It's not that sweet, and it's definitely more like gingerbready. Oh, and the texture is very, very different. So our gingerbread cookies are super hard. You can like break them apart, and obviously very, very sweet. And everything in America is sweeter, but these German ones are like squishy almost, and they've got like a interesting texture, so they're not necessarily hard unless they're old. To conclude that point, we have gingerbread cookies, and we make gingerbread cookies in houses, but not the same as like Lebkuchen. My third thing that I have is Advents calendars, and this is actually something that the students asked me if we have in the United States. We definitely do. I think that they're super popular, but the make it your own ones aren't as traditional. Like, some people do that. It really depends on the family. So my mom has this felt Advents calendar thing, but she would just put like a candy cane in every day. And normally we do the 1st to the 25th. We also have a lot of the store-bought ones. I saw yesterday in Target, which is like a big department store in the United States, I saw 15 days of socks. So sometimes it's not December 1st through 25th. It'll just be like the 12 days of Christmas if it's something more like high dollar. So I know that my mom has gotten like 12 days of Christmas champagne, and it's these tiny little Christmas champagne bottles for the 12 days leading up to Christmas. And then a lot of times what people get for little kids is the store ones. I'm sorry if you guys can hear the children in the background. There's a trampoline outside and there's a lot of kids bouncing on it. They'll get these advent calendars that are super cheap. You can get them for like $2, and it's these super tiny thin pieces of chocolate, and they'll be like scattered out on a papery cardboard looking advent calendar, and like the kids have to look for the number of the day and find it and open it. So those are cute. I think the tradition definitely stemmed from Germany. When I was in Germany, my host family made me a really cool advent calendar with like little bottles and like candies and fun stuff in it. So that was really exciting because it was a lot more personalized and special than what we normally have. For my family. But some people in the United States do make those like very specialized advent calendars. One thing that is very German and not in the United States at all is St. Niklaus Tag. This isn't necessarily Christmas, but it has to do with the holiday season. And what it is on December 5th in Germany and Austria too, I believe. Maybe some other countries. I think a lot of European countries actually do this. Is you put out like a dish or a shoe or maybe a stocking, and then St. Niklaus comes, and then in the morning there is like little candies, Lebkuchen, clementines, snacks, all sorts of little goodies in the tray. In the United States, we don't have that on the 6th or the 5th. Like, no one knows what that is here. I didn't know what that was before moving to Germany. But we do get stockings on Christmas morning. So when you go downstairs, there'll be like a little stocking on the chimney, and the stockings will be filled with smaller gifts. So like candies, my mom puts like lip glosses and small things in that. I don't know if stockings are big in Germany. So I think the stockings are kind of replaced by this whole St. Niklaus Tag thing. But I could be wrong. So if you know that, write it in the comments, please. Another one that the students asked me if we have in the United States are nativity sets. We do have nativity sets. I feel like they are shifting. There's like, I saw this meme and it was like a nativity set and they were just little blocks of colors. There were no like resemblance of the people, and it was supposed to be like modern art. It was really funny. If I can find that, I'll put that here. But we have a nativity set and it's just like little small characters of a Christmas scene. So you've got like Jesus and Mary and Joseph and the three kings and the shepherds, and there'll be little animals normally. So like a sheep or a camel. There's lots of stuff to it. And I think most people have these in their homes in the United States. My mom also has one made out of wine corks. That's really cute. It's really common for churches to have nativity like shows. I don't know the right term for it, but they'll have like the nativity scene on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day church service, and the children will be like Mary and Joseph, and it's like a play that they'll put on. I've seen that a couple times. Nativity scenes are also a thing in Germany. It's what the students told me about, and they were asking if we have them, and so we definitely do have that in the United States as well. I think the biggest difference between German and American Christmas though is that German Christmas is on Christmas Eve, and that's when you celebrate it. You like spend the evening opening gifts, and the Christkind or Weihnachtsmann sometimes, but I think like Christkind is the main gift giver for children, comes, and that all happens on Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day on the 25th is kind of just a meh day. Like, we don't really do much. I think we traveled on the 25th actually to see my host grandparents. Christmas Day itself is not like a celebration day, it's Christmas Eve. But in the United States, we celebrate kind of on both, but mostly on Christmas Day on the 25th of December. You wake up in the morning and it's like, oh, Santa came, and you go downstairs and you see all the presents, open your stocking and your presents, and you'll have dinner or lunch or some meal with the family. My family actually celebrated on Christmas Eve, oddly enough, this year, but that was only because that day worked better for most people in our family. One Christmas tradition that is very German, and I'm glad that my family does not get this, is the Weihnachtsstollen. It is a fruit bread, like candied fruit bread roll thing with powdered sugar on top. It's really popular during German Christmas time, like as a dessert. I did not like it at all. It's got like raisins and candied fruit inside of this bread roll. It's an acquired taste. I think some people really like it. Oh, and there are nuts in the bread too. So it's like the nuts and the fruit. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's very traditional and popular, and you'll see it all over the place. It's hard for me to say what's really traditional in the United States because so many people are from different cultures, and we have like all these little mini traditions. So it really just depends on what family you're from and what your family decides to do. My family always buys one of these log cakes. I think that's actually a French tradition, so I don't know why my Vietnamese family does that. But we also eat like fried chicken gizzards and fried chicken livers on Christmas, which is also kind of weird. That's not normal at all, but that's like our family tradition. My last Christmas tradition that is the same in Germany and the United States, but definitely still varied, is Plätzchen backen, or baking cookies. This was the last one that the students had asked me about, and we definitely do make cookies in the United States. Making Christmas cookies is a big thing. Of course, they're way sweeter than German Christmas cookies, and when I was in Germany, there were so many different types of Christmas cookies that I had never tried before and that were really delicious. My favorite were like all the almond ones. I know that they were like these little almond horns, like Mandelhorns. Those were so good. I need to make some of those actually and get a recipe for my host family. But I think the types of cookies that you bake in Germany are very different from each other, so there's a tons of like variety, versus when I think of baking Christmas cookies in the United States, it's always like sugar cookies, and then we decorate them with icing and sprinkles and lots of sugar. The tradition in the United States is to bake Christmas cookies and you put them out on Christmas Eve for Santa Claus, and sometimes we'll put out little snacks like carrots and other like healthier foods for the reindeer who come with Santa Claus and who pull him on the sleigh. And that's why we make cookies, but you can also make Christmas cookies just anytime to get into the holiday mood. My host grandma, I will never forget my host grandma's cookies. I really hope to be in Germany again for some Christmas so I can have them again, but she sent us these Christmas cookies in a really cute like old tin, and there were so many different types, and I could not believe that she had made all of them, and they were so delicious. They lasted us all of Advent. The good ones did not last all of Advent. All of the cookies we would eat every Sunday. Those were all my Christmas differences between Germany and the United States, and the traditions that we celebrate here as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys had a really wonderful holiday. I know I'm a little late, but Frohe Weihnachten or Merry Christmas. Thank you guys again for watching. Bleibt gesund. Bis nächste Mal und tschüss.